You know, it might help if I took the time to read these before we do these jobs. Might answer some of the questions I keep having, like how did this get so dirty? Freak wave, huh? All right, well, let's get her cleaned up. Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Power Wash Sim. Sim Simulator. Sim Simulator. They were at the aquarium. Not my favorite place in the world, but yeah, I'm scared. Okay. Oh, oh my god. Oh my god, this place is massive. Oh my god, this place is huge. You guys, we had such a nice time with that Spanish villa in the last episode. I think we might be here a while with this one. Oh, that is really blue. It's also very dark in here. Why do aquariums have to be so dark and claustrophobic? Oh, ping, 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 ping. Let's just wash the doors and leave. I mean, did it get just a smidge brighter in here when we washed the dirt away, but still. To the ticket office. Well, at least they drained the place for cleaning. This is this might take a few days. Yeah. This one is not going to roll over quite so easily. I've been to an aquarium once. We drove up to Tennessee when I was little. Um, they took us on a field trip. I remember they had the IMAX theater and they showed us a movie, and I remember sitting there with my eyes closed through most of it. I don't really remember much about it. I remember walking through the aquarium again with my eyes closed most of the time. Of course, back then I didn't have, you know, I didn't have the knowledge of words like thalassophobia. I didn't know that that was a thing. I didn't know that other people had it. I just knew that I was scared of underwater stuff. And I was having none of it. It's pretty in some spots. Like the smaller fish tanks don't bother me. Like when you're walking through the hallway over there and it's just small little tanks on the wall. I can handle that. That's nothing. That's not a problem. It's like having a fish tank in your home. Having an in-home aquarium is nothing. Not a fan of the big tanks. This floor wall is pretty though. I love how IMAX kind of became more accessible over the years for more people. Like I said, there was the one at the aquarium that we went to, and then in Birmingham, about 45 minutes away from here, they have something called the McWayne Center. It's like a little kind of like a museum, kind of not. It's an activity center. It's in this giant building. You walk around. There are little exhibits for kids to learn about science and things. Some of them are interactive, and they have an IMAX theater there, and they show documentaries and science related stuff. So it's not like going to the theater and watching a blockbuster or something. Other than that, I don't think I have ever really. I've never seen an IMAX movie outside of like an educational documentary, which sucks. I really want to see an IMAX movie before theaters go under completely, which they will. We're headed that way. People still treat going to people now treat going to the theater like an event. So few people doing it anymore. Not like it used to be. The shallows. Good. Let's keep it that way. I'm not interested in the deep. I guess we haven't really, as far as all the games I've played on my channel thus far over the years, the closest I've come to really having an underwater issue was probably the new Pokemon Snap. There's that one part where you have to go into the deep, dark ocean. Yeah, I didn't like that. That was hard to play. That was hard to play. They're talking about being able to go underwater with Winds and Waves Gen 10 next year, and I don't know how I feel about that either. Hopefully, it'll be like tropical and pretty and coral everywhere, and I won't have to freak the fuck out on you guys. I was thinking yesterday, there's a few things that bother me about Minecraft, and I think I finally figured out what it is that bothers me about Minecraft, and that is the fact that And I wouldn't have really put two and two together on this if it hadn't have been for Niantic and how shitty Pokemon Go is. Um, it's an empty world. Most of your mobs, like most of your enemies, are just zombies. Um, you have like rabbits, fox, dogs, cats, cows, chickens. You have a handful of animals, but you don't have an entire ecosystem. There are dolphins and two types of fish in the water, but you don't have whales. You don't have sharks. Um, there's not really birds. You had the parrots, but the lack of like a variety of species of bird, like it took me a while to realize what it was about Minecraft. And I love Minecraft, don't get me wrong. Minecraft's like the best game ever. But lately, like I've had this little, this little worm in the back of my brain telling me that something's not right, something's missing. And aside from my biggest complaint with Minecraft being the lack of fucking furniture, I think it's the lack of animal life. Um, so much so that I got to looking in the shops, in the stores, or whatever you call it, when you buy packs from Minecraft, and you can get furniture packs, you can get wildlife packs, and things like that. But as far as my main save file on Minecraft, The Last Anovia, where I got my start, our first official playthrough for YouTube, yada yada. I've always wanted to try and keep that world basic and not add a ton of mods to it. And then when I changed my mind and I thought, well, we'll add, the Jurassic World mod and this, that, and the other. I did talk to Tyler and Lewis about it, and they both agreed, let's just keep it the basic default mechanics. And after some reflection on that, I thought, you know what, they're absolutely right. We need at least one Minecraft world on the show that's has no mods and stuff. It's just like the default experience that you're meant to have with Minecraft. So, but I do so badly wish there were whales and other sea creatures, since the theme of the world is ocean and islands. It would be nice to be able to see things like the starfish or a giant blue whale. But I don't know. I bought and paid for that Jurassic World Rebirth pack that keeps conflicting with our existing Jurassic World save file, which kind of pisses me off. I'm going to have to create a whole brand new Jurassic World Minecraft story just to get that mod pack to work properly. I also have Jurassic World Adventures, which is like a story-driven Minecraft pack. I need to play that too. So we're probably going to bust that bad boy out for June. And I think that's more a single-player kind of experience. But if it'll let my friends play, I'll invite them in. But again, I think it's like a story-driven thing. We'll see. We'll figure it out. It's really pretty in here with all this blue. You get her all cleaned up, she's not too bad. We need to do an IRL fishing vlog. That's a thing we need to do. I haven't been fishing in like a decade. Over a decade at this point. I think 2009 or 10 was the last time I went fishing. I kind of find fishing boring. You're sitting outside in the hot, steamy heat right next to a giant mosquito source. How this aquarium must be near the ocean if they got hit by a giant wave, just like that boat that got hit by the wave, which we do have a submarine to clean after this. I can't get over how gigantic this place is. This one probably will take days. I guess it never really occurred to me. But yeah, I guess aquariums have to be large places. Fish require a large enclosure. I guess that makes sense. I still want to know how they have the mosasaur in Jurassic World. I felt like there was an explanation skipped there. I feel like you guys skipped a step, skipped an explanation. I do need to get back to reading. I had started reading last month and the month before, and I was catching up on books from my youth that I had always wanted to read but never got around to. And I kind of started reading through all of the Michael Crichton novels. Because believe it or not, I'd never actually read The Lost World. But now I'm moving on to other authors, and I'm kind of trying to read what they would have had you read in school had they actually made us read like they were supposed to. Finished Flowers for Algernon. I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream, which was just an existential fucking nightmare. And one of the most depressing things I've ever read. But I've started Of Mice and Men, which I'm told is a really good read. I think I might be about halfway through it. I started it like 2 weeks ago and then put it down, and I haven't been back to it since. But it's because I've just been fiddle farting around every night. They have no discipline. How's this entire front room clean? No. Nope. I missed a spot. This room is, as far as I know. Nope. That thing. Whatever that thing is. Crab Bay Aquarium. Oh, this entire little area right here, huh? This front room counts as 20%. That's not too bad, I suppose. It's bad. I need to quit sugarcoating it. This place is huge. We're gonna be here all day. But is there anything left in this front room? Like that's my main concern. And they're fish. But the little tanks are not empty. Cool. Wait, we have something to look at. This is also the first time that we're not alone. This is the first time we're seeing another living thing this entire time. Well, other than the cats. Yeah, I guess we did see cats, didn't we? We've heard hella birds. We haven't seen any birds, but we've heard them. I don't think we've seen any birds. What happens if you have a saltwater tank on a ship and the ship sinks? Seahorse. Seahorses. Like, I would love to go to an aquarium as long as I can just walk through and see small enclosures like this. I have to go with Tyler one day. I have to get him to take me to an aquarium one day. I think there's one up in Tennessee. And just be like, okay, I can only go in so far when I'm at the last phobia is triggered. Turning around and walking back the other way. And hope and pray it's not one of those one-way walkthroughs where you can't turn around and go back the way you came, where they expect you to walk the whole way through. I do believe wholeheartedly, with 100% of my being, I do believe in facing your fears, you know. And I've done that quite a bit over the years. I've done that in my life a good bit. I've faced many different fears, things I'm scared of, because I'm a coward. I'm scared of a lot of things, I'm not going to lie. But over the years, I've become quite brave. You know, I've gotten through it, realized there was nothing to be afraid of, and now it feels silly. I'm not as scared of the things I used to be scared of when I was younger. Social anxiety being the biggest. But there are some things, some fears that are kind of harder to get through, especially if it's like phobia. Because I think like being scared of something and then a phobia are two different conditions in the brain. Um, because you could learn to face a phobia but still experience the phobia your whole life. Um, but you can learn to manage. Doesn't mean you're not still going to be scared of the thing. Um, Thalassophobia is a son of a bitch because you can't the way that we're set up as a society. I can't just go down to the beach and walk out of the ocean and face my fear. Um, it just doesn't work that way. I would need to spend money to like go diving and do it professionally, and I just don't really have any interest in doing that. I am very happy living the rest of my life with this phobia here on dry land. Very much so. I am good here on the ground above the water. But I feel like going to an aquarium somewhere would be a good, you know, face your fears moment. Damn, this place. It's shaped weird, too. He's in the tank. Look at him. Oh, this is one long. No, there's a wall there. Okay. They're sectioned off. Okay. Hey there, little feller. I think this is where we have our obligatory mention of the one fact that everybody knows about seahorses, and that's that the male gives birth. There. I said it. It's been mentioned. We're moving on. It's like the only thing anybody knows about the seahorse. Where am I now? Oh, it's a tank. That's the empty tank, right? Yeah, okay. See, that got my stomach just walking up to that, even though it's in a video game. Did not like. Did not like. We'll have to go have some breakfast before long. I'm pretty hungry. Get this from over here. I'm glad I figured out that this nozzle works best at long ranges. Because I remember when I first started using it, and I was so frustrated with the streakiness of it. Nice. We've hit 30%, which is not a lot, but still. Ooh, that is annoying. Having to wash that little lip. Let's see what the sign has to say. Sustainable fishing practices. When exactly does sustainable fishing practice mean, or what does it mean? Does it mean that we sustain the fish by throwing worms and fish food directly into the ocean? Or does it mean that we train our fishermen and women to be fitter in order to sustain their fishing shifts for longer periods? Could it even mean that when our fishermen and fisherwomen go fishing, they're only practicing with rods that have nothing attached to them? Actually, it doesn't mean any of those things. Sustainable fishing practice means that we practice our fishing in a sustainable way. Yeah, that's something that I learned about handful of years ago, was like sustainable fishing, hunting, things like that. It's all about sustainability. Um, that's the big thing with climate change too. It's like we're producing so much plastic and carbon in the atmosphere, CO2, all that, yada yada. Like it's not sustainable. The rate at which we consume fossil fuels, none of it is sustainable. So what you want to do, and I know that word gets thrown around a lot, is you want to aim for sustainability. Like with fishing, if we continue to overfish, we'll wipe out entire species. And if you keep wiping out species after species, you're going to cause an ecological disaster, an entire collapse. And I don't know who needs to hear this, but we are part of the world's ecology. We're part of nature, we're not separate from it. I know humans have this real problem with remembering that fact. We're great apes. We are animals. We are not special in any way, shape, or form that prevents us from going extinct. We could go tomorrow under the right conditions, super volcano, asteroid, whatever. But yeah, we do have we have problems with people overfishing certain species in different areas. Then there's the whole whaling issue, which we're not going to talk about or touch on. Just know that it's a thing I don't like. Just see if I can do large, sweeping areas here and really make some progress with this thing. Yeah, sweeping coverage. It sounds like a news station. Sweeping coverage of the things that are important to you. Live weather reports, live traffic reports, and the latest goings ons in your neighborhood. Channel whatever news. Do, 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 do. I haven't been doing a lot of talking for this episode either. We did the peaceful Spanish villa episode, and then immediately went into recording this episode. I had a lot of free time this morning. I wanted to really cover some ground. Oh, ocean. Ba-dum-bow. Oh, it's a shark. The funny thing is, we've explored more space than we have our own oceans. Isn't that something? Isn't that just wacky? The ocean is hard to explore, though. It really is. And there's a reason why. I think they're trying to map as much of it as they can, which is kind of a futile effort because it just covers so much ground physically, you know. Like especially the Pacific Ocean, because there's more water on Earth than there is land, right? Um, well, there's more ocean. Technically, there's land, at the bottom of the ocean. So no, that's not technically true. There's more land than ocean, but there's more ocean than there is like exposed land. So mapping it is a son of a bitch. Hammerhead. I know almost nothing about the big blue whale, other than it's the largest creature on Earth. Wonder how many there are. You know how they have a general estimate of how many there are of any given species at any point in time? I'd like to know how many blue whales are estimated to be in the ocean. I'd like to know what their range is. Where do they live? What are their migratory patterns like? I think I'd like to learn about the blue whale. The only thing is, I can't look it up. I can't watch a documentary because it could show a ton of underwater segments, and I can't watch that. I can listen to it, I guess. Ooh, I could ask Google Gemini, to just tell me about it. That's a thing I could do. Because if I Google it, they're going to show me images too. Well, damn. My back is starting to complain that we've been sitting here. What's the roof done? Or the ceiling? Gift shop. Can I actually go in there and poke around? I want to go in there and buy some stuff. I'm a sucker for stuff. Stuff I don't need. That's sitting here thinking. There's a gift shop at almost everywhere, every place. I can't go in. Every museum, every zoo, every aquarium has a gift shop. I was sitting here thinking, it's definitely a capitalism thing, you know. Everywhere you go, you got to buy a souvenir, and then people will pat themselves on the back and say, "Oh, I'm better than that. I'm just gonna buy one thing. I just want to buy a little tiny trinket to show I was here, to remember my trip by." But you don't need the trinket either. You have your memories. It's got its hooks in us pretty bad. Capitalism, it does. Because we all want to buy that toy, buy that plushie, buy that little whatnot to put on the shelf at home, buy that magnet for your fridge, buy whatever. You know what I mean? Especially my generation, like millennials, we're super bad about it. We buy tons of toys and plastic crap. It makes us happy. I know we shouldn't do it, but we do it anyway. We're miserable. We'd be less miserable if we weren't adding to the problem. Future generations are going to look back at us and scoff and say, yeah, they just kept buying plastic shit. Even though the planet was dying, they just wouldn't stop. Every day, billions of soda bottles being made out of plastic. Shopping bags continued to burn oil in their car, fuel in their cars. It was insane. They knew they were destroying the planet, but they didn't actively immediately stop or do anything about it. As a matter of fact, people of the 21st century didn't even believe it was happening, some of them. They had this thing called climate deniers, or climate change deniers, I mean. Oh, yeah, the 21st century was the dark ages. Humans were real stupid and selfish. They weren't worried about future generations. They just continued to consume, always consuming. At factory farms, totally unethical, just constantly consuming billions of pounds of beef and chicken and what have you, and pork daily. Unsustainable crop growing, all that farmland taking up what used to be a forested area with wildlife diversity. Yeah. Future generations are going to look back and be really pissed. I'm pissed that I'm here now. My first instinct is to like be active, like to actively try to do something to change it. Be careful about what I buy, or change my spending habits, or but every time that I try to do that, I learn that it doesn't matter what I do, because they're always one devious step ahead of us. It doesn't really matter. It's like you think you're going to eat healthy. You go to the market and you're like, okay, I need to buy natural whole foods that don't have chemicals. Only to find out that even though you're buying like fruits and vegetables, they're not cut up and put into little plastic containers. You're just buying a whole apple. That apple is sprayed with tons of cancer causing chemicals. You're like, okay, I'll just go home and wash this apple off and it'll be ripe to eat. It doesn't wash off. Not to mention the microplastics and forever chemicals that are already embedded in the apple. And they always say we fucked up. We fucked up the planet. Who's this we? You got a little rat in your pocket? We didn't do anything. You boomers. You and your parents' generation. You guys fucked up. Not me. You giving me this we crap. Oh, that is not going to work because it's on both sides of the glass. Yeesh. They made this game, I forgot what it's called, but you spend the entire game on a raft in the ocean, and you're meant to like survive the best you can. Different debris will float by throughout the game, and you can use it to craft and build things. I thought about playing it, but it'd be my luck that we'd probably end up underwater at some point. I know that you do get attacked by sharks at some point. So no, I hear it was good and fun, but like I can't handle the underwater stuff. That's like Sea of Thieves and what was that other water game? Subnautica. I don't know if you actually go underwater in Sea of Thieves. I don't really know too much about Sea of Thieves other than it was made by Rare, one of our favorite companies, which kind of made me want to look into it. Subnautica is going to be a hard no because, again, thalassophobia. But I hear that Subnautica is good. It's just not something I can physically play without dying. Not Subnautica. Not the gift shop. Okay. Well, look how spiffy this place is now. Damn, we did a lot today. And we're still not done. I just wanted to reflect on where we've been. Rock pool. Clownfish. Now I want to play Animal Crossing. I said we went on a hiatus with Animal Crossing. We were supposed to come back in the spring. It's April and I still haven't gotten back around to it. We left off on New Leaf, so I might get back to that this week, actually. I've been thinking about it the past few days. We still have Pokopia as well. This is why it's important for me to be up days. Although I guess in the end it doesn't matter because I could just I have the same amount of time whether I'm up days or nights. I just need to stream more. Cover more ground that way. And yesterday we were talking about this in chat. I think we were playing this. Was either this or Fire Red? I don't remember which one. But no, it was this. We were doing the paintball stage, and chat had mentioned, or one of the lovely members of chat who come here very often and have many things to say, had mentioned that my videos on YouTube are too long for them to watch. And I get it. It probably would do my videos better if they were shorter and edited in a very YouTube friendly way. But again, it's a stylistic choice on my end. I choose not to be that like sensationalized YouTuber. I prefer the long format where we actually cover the game and get through it. It's why I chose to do long plays of all the Pokemon games instead of just doing Nuzlocks. I like being fully thorough. Well, that was redundant. I like being thorough when we do our Let's Plays. If I had an editor, if my channel was a little bigger, I would consider maybe doing like a highlights channel or something where we just do highlights. Like we'd still put up the full episode, but we would do some smaller videos that cut together just maybe some of the highlights. I don't know. It's one of the reasons I don't stream more hours in the day is because I worried about, oversaturation. I want people to be able to, I want people to have time to be able to watch what I put up. But this room is tricky. Because I cannot move that ladder, which means I'm going to have to hit it from every angle possible just to get in between. Okay, well, that takes care of the ladder, but what about the wall behind the ladder? You know what I mean? Davis. Surprised I'm still alive. Yeah, I'm alive. Barely. That is accurate. All men love cars, dinosaurs, trains, Godzilla. I don't know why Godzilla specifically, but yes, Godzilla. I think he's okay. I still like my dinosaurs better. But I think he's okay. I'm trying to make sure I get every little tiny speck down here before going up. I know how this is going to play out. Yeah, uh-huh. Look at that. Look at that. Wow. Oh my God. Godzilla is the great equalizer. He makes sure we are in our place. Like literally, that's the plot. It wasn't originally the plot, but it's the plot now. These poor pipes. Fall. Ping. Ooh. Godzilla's not a dinosaur. You can't group him in here. Well, that's true, but still, I know the '98 American Godzilla said that that version of Godzilla was kind of like a mutated iguana monster, but I don't know what Godzilla the Toho version is supposed to be. Not quite sure what. I'm not quite sure what Godzilla's supposed to be. Some of the other monsters in the MonsterVerse are pretty clear. Mothra's a moth. That three-headed dragon thing. The monsters are pretty self-explanatory outside of Godzilla himself. I still don't know what the hell he's supposed to be. Watch streak. An anti-nuclear allegory. Well, yeah, of course. It's like I don't know what creature he's supposed to be. God. Godzilla might be the most passive aggressive character of all time. Look what you did to us, says Japan to America. It was pretty unforgivable. I missed the spot next to the light. Yeah, I keep seeing that little spot in there, but it won't let me have it. Oh, while you're here, let me ask you a question. How would you feel about an open Minecraft server that just everybody in my Discord has access to? You, everybody. Not any existing worlds that I have, but like I would make a new world that everybody can just come play in. We would stream there sometimes. You could stream there. Like you could actually stream on your own channels using that world if you were so inclined. I was thinking it might be a fun way to do like um cross stream promotions. Um I gotta look into a Minecraft server, yeah. Um because if I just generically add everybody to my friend list, then I have to open the world every time you guys want to play. And what if I'm not home or I'm asleep or something? Um, so yeah, I'm gonna look into Minecraft servers. If it's too expensive or if it's too involved, then we'll just do it the generic way. And I'll just open the world anytime anybody wants to use it. Um, so it'll be a realm. If that's what a realm is, I don't know. Um, I don't really know that much about it. I'll have to learn. I'll take 2 seconds of Googling. But yeah, what do you think about that as an idea? Because for the longest time, the last Zenovia was just like a me and Tyler, me and Lewis thing. And then when I was trying to get people more on board with the Patreon, I thought, well, we'll make a Patreon world too. But the Patreon has kind of been, I'll be honest with you, it's kind of been a colossal failure. People just don't really seem to be that interested in spending the real world $3 a month for the Patreon. Um, so we could just do a Minecraft server that's not tied to the Patreon. There's a server that uses Mojang servers. So that might be best for us. And I kind of just assume that's what it, would entail. If it's, I'm assuming I pay like a monthly subscription fee or something. If it's cheap enough, we'll do it. I can afford a couple of dollars a month. Hell, we may, if nothing else, we'll just start. Well, I say we'll take it out of the Patreon money. I wanted the Patreon to stay completely charity. My shit's a mess. Come on, light. You're clean. There you go. Okay. Oh boy. I'm not seeing any dirt left in this hallway. So that just leaves this giant ass aquarium. Oh no, is that on the other side? It is on the other side. None of my watch. Damn. Can't tell what's on this side and what's on the other side. It's just too filthy for me to be able to tell. Oh, Minecraft rounds for Bedrock Edition. $2 a month, 2 friends, 3 total players. $7 a month for 10 friends, 11 total players. That doesn't sound too bad. I don't know how many people we need to cover. I think we'd have me, you, maybe 6 or 7 people, 8, 9, 10 at the most. So it might be worth it. Growth. Ooh. You're not going to like this. You're going to hate me. But I'm going to have to go here in a second. Because I've been streaming for like 2 or 3 hours already. And I got to go do stuff. If I'm not dead, I will come back this evening and do a little more streaming. I didn't anticipate this place would be this large. We did at least finish the Spanish villa this morning, and that's something. That was a very nice, peaceful moment, especially given my mouth. Yeah, I'll have to look into how realms work, but I am very interested in doing that. I'm assuming that any of the mods I buy and pay for will also work on our realms world. I'm assuming. I don't know why it wouldn't. Wow, that orange part is actually pretty big. There we go. All right, so we got that cleaned. Now I just need to go around to the other side and get the spots I missed. Also create party server. Whatever, you gotta be cautious. So yeah, see, that's what I'm worried about. Like if I do this, I want it to be on official servers somewhere that we're safe. I don't want to use some random third party website that I don't trust. Whoa! Flashed in my face. I guess it counts for both sides. Then. Okay. I guess both sides count as their own percentage. Yep. Look at that. Crystal clear. All right. Well, when we come back in next time, we will 100% finish up the rest of this area. The trustworthy third-party sites. I'm going to look into it. I'm actually going to take the time to both Google and watch some YouTube videos. I'm not just going to like passively aggressively ask AI about it. I'm going to do a deep dive and see, because I would love to have a Minecraft world we could all just play in together, regardless of whether I'm online or not. So I'll look into it. Thank you, everybody who might be watching this as a VOD on Twitch. Thank you for watching if you're on the YouTube side. I will see you guys back here, I guess, tomorrow. See you, folks.